For over a year, fans were left stunned as one of Hollywood's most adored couples, Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa, fell apart without warning. What appeared to be a perfect, grounded family began unraveling beneath whispers of betrayal, explosive fights, and buried secrets. Neither Lisa nor Jason addressed the speculation, allowing rumors to snowball. Then, unexpectedly, Zoe Kravitz broke her silence. With just 5 words, "I'm tired of the lies," Zoe shattered the illusion the world had clung to. Her revelation didn't just silence gossip, it flipped the entire narrative upside down. According to Zoe, it was finally time for the truth to be heard. Before the divorce, Zoe Kravitz was the shining thread in a modern Hollywood fairy tale. Her mother, Lisa Bonet, had become a symbol of serene strength and bohemian grace after her earlier split from Lenny Kravitz. With Jason Momoa entering their lives in 2005, a new chapter began. Jason's playful, open-hearted nature instantly transformed their dynamic. Declaring Lisa his childhood crush, he dove headfirst into building a life with her, and with Zoe. He embraced Zoe as his own, nicknaming her Zozo Bear, while she called him Papa Bear. Their bond seemed authentic, filled with shared tattoos, goofy selfies, and red carpet joy. By the time Lisa and Jason married in 2017, their blended family, Lisa, Jason, Zoe, and the younger children Lola and Nakoa Wolf, appeared picture-perfect. But as Zoe now reveals, cracks had long been forming. Behind the carefully curated posts and interviews, the harmony was slipping. For Zoe, the shift wasn't just visible, it was deeply personal. The dream began to feel like a performance, masking realities she could no longer ignore. Outwardly, Lisa and Jason's romance seemed destined for the silver screen, bold, passionate, and timeless. But off-camera, the harsh realities of fame, endless travel, and clashing values were slowly eroding their connection. The pivotal moment came with Jason's meteoric rise after Aquaman in 2018. Practically overnight, he went from cult actor to global star. Offers poured in, press tours multiplied, and Jason was gone for longer stretches. Lisa, who had always distanced herself from the Hollywood machine, found the change jarring. As Jason thrived under the spotlight, Lisa found herself increasingly isolated, holding down their peaceful life in Los Angeles. Friends later revealed Lisa had never enjoyed the red carpet world. She preferred nature, privacy, and spiritual quiet. Zoe, in earlier interviews, hinted at this growing divide, subtly alluding to her mother's distaste for celebrity culture. While Jason deeply loved Lisa, the constant demands of his career pulled him away, both physically and emotionally. Their differing approaches to conflict worsened the strain. Lisa dealt with pain privately, while Jason often buried his emotions in work. By 2021, insiders noticed they were living more separately. Jason was frequently away filming abroad. Lisa remained rooted in California, often seen without her wedding ring. Though the world saw a unified front in public, subtle clues painted a different picture. Lisa's social media posts grew more poetic and introspective, with cryptic references to detachment and letting go. In one post, she wrote about the importance of releasing people who no longer align with your path, a message fans would later revisit with deeper understanding. Even their public appearances changed. Once full of affection and warmth, their body language turned distant. Then, in early 2022, the answer came. Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa announced their separation after 16 years together, 5 of them married. The announcement stunned fans, especially given the poetic way it was delivered. In a joint statement they said, "We share this not because we think it's newsworthy but so that as we go about our lives we may do so with dignity and honesty." They spoke of evolving love and freeing each other to become who they were meant to be. The phrase, "we free each other," sent shockwaves through their fanbase. Who needed freedom, and from what? Speculation exploded. Some tabloids claimed Jason had been unfaithful during his long work absences. Others suggested Lisa had grown tired of Jason's fast-paced lifestyle, accusing him of partying too hard or neglecting the family. Wild, unfounded stories emerged, accusations of abuse, controlling behavior, and irreconcilable differences. Jason's bohemian RV lifestyle was interpreted as him being cast out, despite his own claims of loving the simplicity of van life. Public confusion only deepened when Jason continued to support Zoe at major events like the Batman premiere and was spotted spending time with Lisa and the kids post-split. These sightings sparked endless rumors of reconciliation. Every co-parenting interaction was misread as romantic rekindling. Amid the chaos, one voice remained silent, Zoe Kravitz. The daughter caught in the emotional crossfire said nothing as wild narratives spun around her family. But now, with the veil finally lifting, Zoe's words are rewriting the story. Her truth challenges the version the world thought it knew. And while the full picture may still be unfolding, one thing is clear. The silence has been broken, and the fairy tale once idolized by millions is being seen for what it really was: beautiful, flawed, and deeply human. Zoe Kravitz's silence during the unraveling of her family wasn't born from indifference. It was an act of quiet protection, a space to process pain. Behind the headlines and public appearances, Zoe watched her family fall apart in real time. As the daughter of Lisa Bonet and the stepdaughter of Jason Momoa, she had once believed their love was something rare, magical even, like a story too beautiful for Hollywood. But when that magic dissolved, so did the foundation of her family. For a long time, Zoe said nothing, but then came 5 powerful words: "I'm tired of the lies." That was all it took to shift the narrative completely. What Zoe revealed next didn't just silence the gossip, it uncovered the emotional truth behind her family's fall, a truth no one had expected. For Zoe, watching her mother and stepfather go from soulmates to strangers wasn't just painful, it was deeply personal. While the world admired Lisa and Jason as a Hollywood power couple, Zoe saw them simply as mom and papa, the core of the only family dynamic she had known. Her relationship with Jason Momoa had been anything but distant. He proudly called her his daughter in interviews, celebrating milestones like her 2019 wedding to Carl Glusman, joining family holidays, and creating traditions together. But when Lisa and Jason's marriage started to falter, Zoe found herself stuck in the emotional crossfire. Behind the scenes, she was trying to protect both parents, while dealing with the weight of the rumors and emotional strain. Sources later revealed the divorce affected her more deeply than anyone knew. Zoe had long been her mother's emotional anchor during Jason's absences, supporting Lisa when his booming career took him away for months. Still, her love for Jason remained strong. As the divorce became public, Zoe was thrust into an impossible position. Insiders said she felt like a mediator, balancing her own well-being with the growing tension between her mother and stepfather. Even in public appearances, like the 2022 Batman premiere, fans noticed a shift. Jason cheered her on proudly, but Zoe's demeanor seemed more restrained, perhaps battling internal conflict. Making it worse, their private family pain was now global gossip. Every post, every look, every interaction was dissected for clues. But those close to Zoe knew she wasn't choosing sides, she was grieving. Grieving the collapse of a family structure that had grounded her entire life. Her silence only intensified the speculation until she finally broke through with those 5 words: "I'm tired of the lies." It was more than just a statement, it was an acknowledgement of the emotional toll this rupture had taken on everyone, especially her. The ripple effect extended far beyond her parents' marriage. Zoe's own life, relationships, and sense of identity were shaken. Her brief marriage to Carl Glusman began with hope and fairy tale elegance in Paris, with Lisa and Jason smiling proudly by her side. But just a year and a half later, Zoe filed for divorce. While she never explicitly blamed her parents' troubles, those close to her hinted that witnessing their struggles had altered her views on love and trust. Known for her fierce independence and emotional authenticity, Zoe reportedly became more guarded after her divorce and the public dissection of her family's pain. Critics and trolls took aim, accusing her of being too Hollywood or blaming her for not speaking out sooner. Some even twisted her failed marriage as proof that love doesn't last in her family, a cruel and unfair assumption. The pressure and projections took a toll. Living in the public, I made healing more difficult. Zoe admitted in interviews that constant judgment made it exhausting to process heartbreak privately. With famous parents known for their larger-than-life romances, Zoe felt the weight of comparisons and expectations. Her friendships changed, too. Reports said she became increasingly selective about who she trusted. She realized that no matter what she did, people would project their fantasies and frustrations onto her, but she no longer owed them silence or suffering. After months of holding back, enduring lies and misconceptions, Zoe reached a breaking point. It was time to speak, not to create drama, but to reveal the truth, to defend her family, and finally reclaim her voice. In a rare, emotional interview, Zoe opened up with honesty. "I'm tired of the lies," she repeated, setting the tone for what followed. She wasn't there to feed headlines. She was there to stop the bleeding. She fiercely denied the most damaging rumor, that Jason had ever been abusive. "My dad Jason has never been abusive. Never," she said. "It's heartbreaking that people can turn something so human and painful into something ugly." She also shut down whispers that her mother, Lisa, had been the aggressor. "My mother is not violent," Zoe said. "She's one of the most peaceful people I know, grounded, spiritual, and calm." The public had twisted Lisa's independence into something sinister. And perhaps most frustrating of all were the constant rumors of reconciliation between Lisa and Jason. Every co-parenting moment was exaggerated into a romantic reunion. Zoe made it clear, these stories only added to the pain. The truth, as she revealed it, wasn't about scandal or betrayal, it was about love lost, the heartbreak of change, and the quiet suffering that never made headlines. For Zoe Kravitz, speaking up was never about sides, it was about healing, truth, and finally setting the record straight. The rumor of a romantic reunion between Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa had persisted for months, but Zoe Kravitz finally shut it down. "They're not back together, they're not secretly dating, they're not trying to get back together. People need to stop creating a fantasy that doesn't exist," she said sharply. She explained that while her mother and Jason still had love and respect for each other, their relationship had evolved into a healthier form, a respectful co-parenting partnership, not a rekindled romance. Zoe also addressed another damaging assumption, that she had taken sides in the divorce. "People love to say I'm team mom or team dad like it's some kind of game. I'm not on a team. I love both of them. They both love me. I'm grateful for that." For Zoe, setting the record straight wasn't about defending one parent over the other, it was about honoring the truth, protecting her family, and reclaiming their story from the swirl of lies and speculation. Her voice was calm, firm, and filled not with anger but clarity, rooted in love for both her mother and Jason Momoa. Still, after addressing all the false narratives, one question lingered: what really happened? Why did a love story that once seemed so perfect fall apart? In her most vulnerable moment, Zoe finally answered. She revealed that there wasn't a villain or a dramatic breaking point. What tore Lisa and Jason apart was something much more human: life. "The truth is they just drifted apart," she said softly. "The same passion that once united them eventually pulled them in different directions." The biggest strain, Zoe admitted, was Jason Momoa's rising fame and demanding career. This wasn't said with bitterness, just understanding. Being an actress herself, Zoe knew how hard Jason had worked for his success. But she couldn't ignore how it impacted her mother. "At some point, I couldn't even recognize her. She lost herself," Zoe said sadly. Lisa Bonet, who always valued peace and privacy, found herself overwhelmed by the Hollywood lifestyle and long separations. Zoe said Jason wasn't unaware. He eventually tried to slow down and be more present, but by then, the damage was already done. "He tried. I know he really tried. But sometimes, it's too late." In a deeply personal moment, Zoe admitted she had once been angry at her mother. "I felt like she should have fought more, held on longer, tried harder." But with time and maturity, she began to understand the quiet exhaustion of holding together a life that no longer fits. "Now I get it. I get both of them. Sometimes love just isn't enough." There was no betrayal, no hatred, just growth, change, and two people with the courage to let go of a past that, while beautiful, no longer served them. Despite the heartbreak and public scrutiny, Zoe expressed gratitude. "They both showed up for me, for my siblings. They handled this with love. And that's all I could ever ask for." Moving forward, she says, her family is in a good place, just different. Lisa Bonet has returned to a quiet, grounded life surrounded by calm and peace. Jason Momoa remains a loving father to Lola and Nakoa Wolf and stays deeply connected to Zoe, who still refers to him as family. Their bond didn't end with the divorce. If anything, it endured beyond it. Jason continues to support Zoe's career, proudly calling her his daughter. "We're still family. That doesn't change," Zoe said. She appreciates that Lisa and Jason have prioritized their children's emotional well-being over personal differences. Their co-parenting is respectful and grounded in love. From all of this, Zoe has learned a powerful lesson. Family isn't perfect, and that's okay. What matters is showing up, being honest, and loving each other, even if that love looks different now. "We've all moved forward," Zoe concluded. But the love is still there. Always has been. Always will be. What do you think about Zoe's choice to finally speak up? Was it brave, overdue, or something else entirely? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.